It is time for Hey Myron. Yep, real stories from real people just like you and I. And of course, Myron knows issues because...
Myron has issues.
Yes, Myron has a whole lot of issues, and he can spot them joints a mile away. You heard about at least one of them during the show with my dating issues. Adventures. But yeah, I have a lot of issues. Speaking of issues, we have a interesting letter which Ronnie has over there somewhere. And,
stashed away so you can't see it.
It looks pretty long.
We'll see.
All right. Well, speaking of issues, what's the issue, Ronnie?
Well, dear Myron, I was at an international affairs conference and I met a very nice woman. She smiled a lot and laughed at all my jokes. I really thought we were getting along. We met each night after our classes and laughed until the early morning. She asked if we could stay in touch. We exchanged numbers, talked twice once we went home, and then she stopped taking my calls. She says I'm dynamic and attractive, but she is just so busy with work that she doesn't really have time to talk to me. Should I leave her alone or should I continue to pursue her? Signed, just can't be bothered.
Oh, wow. I know exactly what to tell this dude.
We're all ears.
But I want you to go first.
No. I kind of like this pattern that we've gotten into. When I pick the letter, you answer first.
Next week, I'm picking the letter. All right. Well, here we go. Well, I can kind of relate to this story.
Okay. You had a similar incident?
Pretty much. And it's kind of on the flip side. I'm a workaholic. I'm a functioning workaholic. And I think I can spot a workaholic when I see one. Mm-hmm. And when there's like a workaholic somewhere close, maybe like 3.5 feet away from me. I can really spot a workaholic.
Really?
And, so, I know what it feels like on both ends of that whole spectrum. So I'm gonna talk about. I'm just gonna focus on one end of it right now. Mm-hmm. With me being the workaholic that I am.
Okay.
Two people in a relationship and one's a workaholic. Both people are gonna be misunderstood.
Okay.
Yeah, the workaholic is definitely going to be misunderstood. But the person who is trying to deal with that workaholic is going to be misunderstood basically by the workaholic. Because, everything the workaholic does makes sense to the workaholic. You know what I mean?
Oh, that went deep.
Just for me, for instance, if I pull an all-nighter and I'm up 24 hours working like some crazy person, it's going to make total sense to me why I'm not asleep.
Okay.
And I'll be able to rationalize that even if it makes absolutely no sense. This is why I have to stay up because I got to get this done.
Yeah.
It's imperative. I don't know if I don't get this done, I'm going to die or something. I don't know. But, there's going to be a misunderstanding on both sides. And the only person who really understands a workaholic is another workaholic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's probably why a lot of those people you mentioned earlier stay together for like 50 years, have 50th anniversaries because they both workaholics, but they know when they get sick of working, they go ahead and spend that 25 minutes with each other and then they're gonna get back to work. You know what I mean? So they're not even together long enough for them to
get on each other's nerves.
Exactly, because once everything is done and all the happiness has been had for 25 minutes, it's time to go back to work. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm just gonna give you some real advice. A lot of people are gonna disagree with what I'm gonna say, but apparently she works a lot and you don't. It's never gonna work.
Wow.
It's never going to work.
Wow.
Y'all going to have some great moments because you're going to guilt her into not working sometimes. So when she's like not working and she's feeling guilty about it, she's not going to be able to really enjoy that downtime because she's going to be thinking about the
all
stuff
the 500 things she needs to do.
That she needs to do. And see, some people, they don't understand workaholics. The things that they do is actually therapeutic. And I know I'm sounding like somebody who has really drank all the Kool-Aid. But it's the truth, though. It's the truth. It's work, but it's not work.
Right.
It's work, but it's therapeutic. And
it's like me and cooking. Like to a lot of people, they're like, why would you want to go in the kitchen and cook a meal that's going to take you 4 hours to
Well, I thought you just like seeing pretty stuff on the stove. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's therapeutic. I'm somewhere else when I'm in there cooking.
When I say Myron has issues, trust me, you witnessing a issue just rolling in progress right now. This is an issue. But, I feel like those who are workaholics, and even those who are workaholics and don't realize that they are workaholics, only a workaholic would understand another workaholic.
I don't know. Like, I feel like one workaholic can definitely understand another one. But I think when you have two people in a relationship who are workaholics, sometimes it can be competitive, and it can be a negative thing, not a positive thing, right? Because you would think that two very driven people would get together and just make magic happen. But a lot of times it becomes competitive. And I think
each one sort of has their own agenda.
Well, I think that's part of like what you're seeing in Tamar's relationship, right? It was all good when he was the one that was like the big breadwinner and whatever. But now Tamar's kind of got her own everything, right?
Which he played a part in it.
He did play a part in it, but now she's overshadowing him. So,
in that case, I just go shopping. That would make me forget about all those shadows and stuff.
Yeah, well, not every guy feels that way. But you can only shop for so long.
I just go buy me some stuff.
You can only shop for so long. There's only so many things you could buy. So.
You just got to know where the right stores are. Just to be honest, this is like long distance relationships. This is the exact same thing. There may not be miles between y'all, but there's some imaginary miles between y'all.
Well, so it's funny you say that, because I was like, there was a lot of things going through my mind as I was reading this, right? Because he said that they went back to their homes, right? So like he went to his home and she went to her home. I don't know how far away they are, but there are some people who cannot maintain a connection with somebody unless they can physically see them. Because he said like every night after classes, they would get together and stay up and laugh all night, right? Which she may be somebody that needs to have that person close to them, but it's like out of sight, out of mind. So she's not seeing them on the regular basis. It's not as appealing to her.
She seems a little ADHD.
Why do you say that?
Because once they're gone and apart, she forgets about it. It's like he can't keep her attention unless he's right there in front of her.
Like he's right there in front of her. Yeah. Well, and that could be possible. So there was another thing I thought about.
And that makes it even worse. That's why she's a workaholic. That's related to each other.
Because you just decided that this woman is a workaholic. I mean, she said that. What if that was just an excuse because she doesn't want to hurt his feelings? What if he was, how some people have like a summer fling? What if he was a conference fling? What if he was just somebody?
I give her credit for playing the part. She gets the Academy Award for playing that part. I don't even know her, and I'm convinced she's a workaholic. So she's fooling a lot of people. So she got me. You know what I'm saying? So, hey.
Oh, gosh. Well, there was just a lot of things that I thought about were potential possibilities in this particular scenario. Not saying that any of them are true, but I mean, just worth thinking about. She may not want to hurt his feelings.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe that's the case, but either way, I think he should walk away.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't tell people to walk away often, but I know this situation right here. I mean, if I didn't know any other letter we got, I know this one right here.
Okay.
Yeah. If
I can't believe how sure you are about this.
If he wants to be happy, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you are so sure about this. I can't even put forth like a good argument. I'm like, all right.
He might want to even date somebody between jobs. Yeah. He date him somebody between jobs, and he can get all the time and attention he want.
No, they should be out looking for a job.
Yeah, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another relationship bites the dust. If you have an issue, it doesn't have to be a relationship issue.
No, not at all.
I don't want to get into the habit of being like the Jack Kevorkian of relationships and stuff. I don't want to help you kill it or kill it for you. But so it doesn't have to be a relationship issue. If you just got an issue you're just trying to work out, hit us up, shoot me an email, Myron at what'shappenedmyron.com, and I will be more than happy to get all in your business and give you my 2 cents.
In the business.
And everything. Yeah. And sometimes you might be helped. Sometimes you would think I need help. Sometimes I may give you, advice that I would not follow. Just trust me when I give you the advice, though. I'm going to tell you the reason why I always say that part about I may give you advice that I may not necessarily follow. Because, there's always somebody sitting somewhere talking about, look at that, they giving advice and they can't get their own business together. That ain't even what the show is about. You know what I'm saying? So if you're sitting around worried about that, just know that I'm not. Anyway, again, my email, myron@what'shappeningmyron.com. Y'all stick around. We got much more show to go right here on the What's Happening Myron radio show.
You're listening to the What's Happening Myron radio show.